coming to a sunrise. So what my eyes, that moment I visualize is coming. If you can see me now, see I'm gonna break through the life I knew. Been waiting, a dream come true. Still aiming. If you could see me now, if you could see me now.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title, we're doing something a little different today. You guys know on my normal schedule I have a Yu-Gi-Oh video out today, but I want to do something a little different and talk about a different card game. Recently I've gotten back into this card game. I used to play it a lot. I used to be very competitive in it. I've gone to as far as nationals with it. But this is my deck profile for Cardfight Vanguard. This is my Kagero Blademaster deck profile. The newest support for Blademaster has been out for a couple of months now. It came out back in September. But like I said, I just recently got back into the game. I've done some play testing. I've tweaked the deck here and there, and I finally got into a spot I really like. So I want to share it with you guys, and hopefully it helps you make the deck better. If you guys enjoy the profile, please drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll start throwing some more Cardfight Vanguard videos on the channel. Deck profiles, matches, things like that. But let's get into the deck profile. Alright guys, I'm going to try to go over this quick. I am going to briefly go over some of the effects, but again, I don't want you guys to be here all day. So we have our starter, Lizard Soldier Conroe. All stars have been errated to be the same thing. When raiding upon, you get to draw a card. If your opponent's already at grade 1, you get to add the new Quick Shield ticket order. So there's that. Already my trigger lineup is where the deck starts getting a little unique. I actually play 4 Tar, 4 Rakshasa, and 1 Janet for a total of 9 crits. I like having the 1 Sentinel crit, because sometimes being able to guard one big attack with just the 1 card can actually save you instead of having to ditch another 2 cards for a perfect guard. I do still play 3 perfect guards just because some attacks get a little too big and you don't want to have to use a shield value if you don't need to. I also like the draws because the deck does like to draw. It doesn't need it as much as it used to, because I used to play 6 draws, but even 3 is just fine for me. And then 4 Dragon Monk Genjos for heal triggers. For grade 1s, we play 4 Wyvern Strike Garn. This is a Blademaster deck. For anybody that doesn't know what Garn does, if your opponent has no rear guards, he gains 5k. So he could be a 13k attacker, good for early game push, good to hit any size Vanguard. And then if he boosts Doa, which is the grade 2, we'll get to in a little bit, and it hits, you can counterblast 1 to draw a card and soul charge 1. We've got 4 Sable Dragnewts. I love this grade 1. I was really happy when we got it in the first place. He's a great grade 1 ride because he actually has a Vanguard skill. If his attack hits, you just get to draw a card for no cost. And then when you retire any opponent's rear guards, while he's on the rear guard circle, you can retire him to draw a card. So he replaces himself. He lets you filter through your deck. And again, it's no cost. You just do it for playing the game. Ammo's been here since set 1. He's stupid. I assume everybody knows what he does, but just in case. When he boosts, he gives an extra 3k. It's a continuous skill. And then auto, when one of your opponent's rear guards is retired, you can retire Ammo to draw a card and countercharge 1. Still one of the best countercharge cards in the game. And the last grade 1 I play is 2 Lava Flow Dragons. I didn't really like this card, but it just helps you get to Blademaster, because Blademaster is the card you want to sit on. When played, check top 5 for a grade 3 add to hand, and if you do, discard a card. And then if you have more rear guards than your opponent, then he just sits at 13. So he's another grade 1 attacker, and he's another good ride target. On to grade 2s. We play 4 Wyvern Strike Doa. Doa is the heart and soul of the deck as far as, you know, the Blademaster engine. It's a great grade 2 rear guard, even though it's a 9k. On place on rear guard, counterblast 1, get Garn from the deck. If your opponent has no rear guards, then Doa can't be blocked with normal units, so they're forced to guard with triggers. And I'll explain why that's a big deal later. I still play 4 Berserk Dragons. Ooh, that's not a Berserk Dragon. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 on place on Vanguard or rear guard. Retire one of your opponent's rear guards. If it's on Vanguard, you also get to draw a card. I like drawing cards. On rear guard, it also has a skill where if you have more rear guards than your opponent, it gains 3k when attacking, so it becomes a 13k, so it can hit regardless of boosters. As you notice about most of Kagero's boosters, they don't really stick around. The only ones that do are Garn and Lava Flow. So having a unit that can hit without being boosted really, really helps. And lastly, we've got a newer grade 2, Dragon Dancer Faja. This card, if your opponent has no rear guards, gains 5k. Again, another rear guard that can hit by itself without being boosted. And if it's boosted by anything, it hits really good numbers because it'll break 23. Its other effect is what makes it stupid though. Vanguard or rear guard, when placed, check top 5 for Doa or Garen, add to hand, and if you do, shuffle the deck. This thing was great. I love it. I love resolving multiple of them, and the fact that it's no cost makes this card a must-have. The only reason I don't run 4 of this and less of one of the other two is obviously it's Doa. I would rather have the Doa as opposed to trying to search it, and then I like the drawing cards. Again, these two are guaranteed, whereas opposed Faja you can still technically miss. We've got the Mac Daddy of the deck, Dragonic Blademaster Soen. He's basically a better version of the Dragonic Blademaster V. For anybody that doesn't know, I love Dragonic Blademaster. He has been my favorite Vanguard card since G format, so when he came back to V, I was ready to jump right on it. And then they came out with Soen, and he's just a better version. So he has 2 effects. His big effect is that for the cost of just discarding 2 cards, you get to make this thing. This is a vision token. It is a 13k grade 3 token, and it has Twin Drive. So you discard 2 cards, you get a free rear guard. It retires at the end of turn, but for that turn, it's a grade 3 with Twin Drive, so you get 4 drive checks. Also, if you have Doa and Garen on the board, you also get to retire all your opponent's rear guards. So it activates all those effects. The ones for when your opponent doesn't have any rear guards. The big thing is, his second effect is, while your opponent has no rear guards, he gains 10k, and so does the vision token. So then they now become 23ks with no boosters. So, really solid. And the last grade 3 is Dragon Knight Ishak. I tried many different grade 3s with this deck. I tried playing Double Blademaster, I tried playing Waterfall, I tried playing Dragonic Overlord. But this thing is absolutely the best grade 3 to go alongside Soen. First off, it has a force marker, so if you're forced to ride it, it doesn't screw you out of force markers. It also has, both of its effects are also Vanguard Rearguard, and they're both really, really solid. So his effects are Vanguard Rearguard. If your opponent has no rearguards, he gains 10k. And then his second effect is Act. Counterblast 1, not once per turn. Counterblast 1, retire one of your opponent's rearguards. If you have another grade 3 rearguard, retire 2 instead of 1. So, if you're forced to ride it, and you play another one on grade 3, for a Counterblast 1, you can retire 2 rearguards. Or, say you're on Soen, and you don't have Doa and Garen, you can make your vision token, and then Counterblast however many you need to retire your opponent's entire board. You can Counterblast 2 to retire 4. It's absolutely bonkers. And then you end up sitting with 3 23k lines with no boosters. So, because of the major power boost that deck gets, this deck actually prefers to be on Force 2. The extra crits really help pushing for damage, and honestly, the power is really good if you're going for Force 1, but it's only really good if you're forced to drag the game into the late stages. Because if you look at the way the columns form out, normally you're either going to be sitting on Soen, a vision token, and Ishak, all 23k rolls, all 15k shields, or instead of Ishak, you'll have Doa with Garen, which is a 22k roll that can't be guarded with normal units, so at a minimum they have to guard that with, again, a 15k shield, or let you draw a card. It's very, very consistent, and it pushes for numbers really, really well. The deck is just really, really fun. Alright guys, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any card choices or any texts, let me know in the comments. Again, if you guys want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe, comment on things you want to see, and I'll make sure I get those kind of videos out to you guys. But that's it from me, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.